everybody, welcome back to another video on my channel. My name's Kev, or Kevin. This is minisbykev, and I'm a miniaturist living in New England who likes to make miniatures of a lot of different kinds of stuff. I feel like if I don't get that intro out quick enough, I'm gonna lose people's interest. In this week's video, I wanted to start making the beachside bungalow. Here, I had the instructions printed out. I thrifted it. If you don't follow me on my other social medias, I've talked about this, but I thrifted it and I want to build it to make a series on this channel. However, it's missing two of the boxes. It's like minor parts, but I'm still missing them. I did email Real Good Toys and see if I could buy the replacement parts because some people said that they sometimes will do that. I have not heard back and it's been almost a week. So I don't know if I'm going to hear back. We'll see. If I don't, I'll figure it out. But while I'm waiting, I decided I can start making things for that house. Now, I'm not gonna tell you what the house is going to be or who lives in this house or the story behind the house because I don't want to spoil it for you. That's something I'm gonna talk more about when I actually start building it, but I want to start building things for it. As you can see from the thumbnail or the title, this week I'm gonna be making a butterfly specimen case thing. I don't really know what it's called. It's just a specimen case that you put butterflies. People put bugs in them and other things. I'm gonna do a butterfly one. What I will say is that the person that lives in this house is like a collector, an explorer, I guess. I don't really know how to describe it. Kind of like well, is that a spoiler? You almost got me. For now, we're just gonna go ahead and work on this, and then I will explain more when I start actually building the dollhouse, which I'm hoping, fingers crossed, will be soon. I don't know if it will be. We'll see. That's it. That's not it. We're about to get started, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn the camera down. And we're gonna start building the specimen case. I found some butterfly pictures online and I scaled them down. So I tried to do as accurate as possible to real life. So I actually found like these butterflies, the names of them, and then what size they would be in real life so I could scale them down to like their accurate size. Now this is kind of how I wanted to display it in the case. I don't know if that's gonna work, we'll see. I did find some extra ones that don't fit inside the case because this blue area is gonna be how big the case is. I can't fit these extra ones, so I don't know. I'm gonna play around with the layout a little bit. I'm just gonna cut these out and then build the little case, which I bought balsa wood for the first time. I've actually never worked with it, but people say it's the easier wood to work with. We'll see if that's also true. Okay, if I could get it out of the case. Oh, there's two of these. That's confusing. So it does feel kind of soft. I don't know. I thought that might look nice. I do work with paper a lot, but I thought this might stain well. And I thought it would look nice if it was like a stained little box. So we're gonna try balsa wood for the first time. And yeah, let's just get started on this. I'm gonna zoom you in so you can see what I'm doing. You know, I have a light here, but it just likes to do whatever it wants. So I did watch a couple of videos to give me some inspiration on how to do this based off of some other people that have made them in 12th scale. And I will link those people below whose videos I watched. I can't remember off the top of my head who it was. There's one in particular that I really liked. I was really inspired by her and I'm kind of following her well, was it instructional? I don't know. But I'm following her lead on how to make this. This is not a tutorial. This is just what I'm doing. This is just what mine looks like. She did use scissors though. Do I have scissors? I'm now realizing that this blue, I should have done a different color because this could have been the background of the case. The question is, do I still do blue as the case color? It'll kind of look like this except for the, oh, one of those is really tiny. I don't know how I'm gonna be able to do that. Look at that. That one's so tiny. I could do blue as the background still, and it'll kind of look like this. Oops, you're not even on camera. Kind of look like this one, minus the white in the pictures. I've decided what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start by cutting these out. I'll build the box around it and not glue this in. If I like the way it looks, I will glue it in. The butterflies are actually gonna be the last part I do. Let's build the box for these. Where is my ruler? Oh, here it is, duh. On the pegboard. I have a lot of projects I wanna start this year. This is actually going into, like I said, the beachside bungalow, which is one of 3 doll houses I wanna start working on this year. And it is already April. So not looking too hopeful on that front. Let's go ahead and move this out of the way. People say you can cut this with a craft knife, but I don't know if I believe that. Also, what is that? Discoloration. There's discoloration on a lot of these actually. And burn marks. These are not the best quality at all. You know what? I did see someone said that theirs had mold growing in the middle of it. And that makes me a little nervous. What I'm gonna do is actually cut into one of these and make sure that this discoloration does not go through as mold. This could be stupid. This could be a stupid idea. I don't know if it is mold. Is it bad to like cut this open? Let's just try it though. I feel like I need to know. So that way I can know if I need to return it, which would be quite unfortunate. Well, first of all, a craft knife doesn't work. Maybe I just need to switch my blade. I need to inspect this closer. I'll be right back. Okay, so it turns out that this has mold growing in it. I won't be using these today. These are to be returned. Yep, okay. That limits my options on what I'm gonna make this out of. I don't know, maybe tongue depressor? tongue depressors are thin enough, but not wide enough. Yeah, I'm gonna go look in my wood drawer because I'm a little stumped. I guess I could use matte board, but I really wanted to use wood for this project because I'm not good at painting matte board to look like wood. I'm better at staining wood to look like wood because it is wood. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little disappointed. So let me just go look. So this is a bag of scraps, and I also have this thing of scraps that I think I'm going to figure out how to make it out of this stuff. So that way I can try to be more resourceful, and just because I don't like waste. I do not like waste. Look, I even kept the top of a wooden spoon. I don't know. I think that was from Trader Joe's. So I'm thinking, actually one of these is almost wide enough. Oh dang, that's unfortunate. It's so close. Okay, so I'm thinking is I can just do two together. I'll have to cut it obviously, but I do have my miter shears right here. So I can cut where I need it to, and I think the base layer won't matter that much. Like, you're not even really gonna see it, so should I do it in matte board? Nah. I'm gonna do it in wood. I don't know, I'm just like a little disappointed. Gotta get my energy back though. Let's start going. Okay, so I don't know if I have any other scraps in here. No, I don't. So I need to actually use one of these. Okay, or wait. This is why you keep your scraps, kids, because I think I can cut this in half and just use the other half of this for this. And then look, this little piece that most people would probably throw away. And then I can use the scraps from the coffee star sticks. I can use those for the side. Boom. I need to stain these. I need to find my stain. I'm so disorganized. Okay, let me find the stain and we'll come back. We have this stain marker. It is maple. I'm gonna go ahead and start staining this because I realized it's gonna be harder to stain afterwards, and you're not gonna be able to see most of this. So do I wanna waste stain on it? Yeah, go ahead, it's fine, because I don't know what's gonna show. But you can also use watered down brown paint. I've done that before. This video must seem really calm compared to my last video where I crashed out while making my roll life. That was a journey. Oh look, there's just remnants of it all around. Never forget. So one thing I don't like about these is that you can really clearly see that grain of the fake wood. So not fake wood, but compressed wood, but it is what it is. It's not that big of a deal. So this piece is gonna be cut into multiple pieces for the background of this. And then I get some scraps out of here. Let's just pour some out, why not? You know? Oh, there's some matchsticks in here too. I don't know what those are from. Could these work for the lid? You know, I was going to use basswood, but now that I don't have it, I think I'm going to use the matchsticks for the lid. Although, are they too thick? 12th scale, it ends up taking up quite a bit of real estate where I could be showing butterflies. These are the real questions. See how that like really changes the amount of space I have in there. But this is the smallest thing I have. So I think I have to live with it. I'm gonna just start staining stuff. That's not interesting to watch. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then we'll meet back up afterwards. All right, everything's stained. So now we can start cutting again. We haven't even started. I just realized I didn't need to stain any of this at all. Oh well. You live and you learn. Maybe I'll save this actually for something else and just use this one because it's already stained and I could use it in the future. Okay, don't know where that went. I'm really struggling with these miter shears because they often cut slightly crooked and can't tell if it's user error. I feel like it must be because no one else has issues with it. That looks crooked. Is that crooked? There it is. Slight, but it's definitely crooked. So I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. It's clicked into the right spot. Okay, I feel like if anything, it's like 1/64th of an inch off. It's very, very minuscule. It's very, very minimal. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go with it and not be bothered by it. I don't know how to do that correctly. Okay, so I'm gonna measure off this, make another cut. Now I need one more piece. So I'm gonna cut this. To make it stronger, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put these two together and then I'm gonna glue it in the middle of these rather than putting it at the edge, because this little tiny sliver that's gonna stick over, like it's very minuscule. The little tiny extra that I need is so small that if I try gluing this together, this would just fall off and then this would be overhanging. So I'm gonna actually glue it in the middle of two pieces, but I need to measure this off first to figure out how much I need to cut off for the next piece. These are done, but we need to figure out how much I need to cut off on each one now. This actually might be better if I have something to put it up against. All right. Now I need to cut these. There's the base. Base. What I should do is glue this together because I wasn't sure if I wanted to use the blue as the background, but I think I'm actually gonna go ahead and make that decision and just go ahead and do it. Because what's better than just making a decision that you're not sure about and just going forward with it? You know what, I should probably do this on my well-loved scrap piece of paper. Been here a while, you've probably seen this many times. If not, welcome. So the thing is with this project is I really want to make something look nice out of very few materials. Because I have scrap wood, I have paper, like printed paper, and then I do have a stain, but again, you could just use paint. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and glue this piece on because it'll help hold all of it together. Okay, so it did shift a little bit, but I can fix that. I think I used too much glue because this is like sliding everywhere. Oh no, I don't want any glue on the blue part. So now I need to let that set. Yeah, I'm gonna let that set. I decided actually while that dries, I'm gonna start cutting out some of the, oh, I don't wanna lose those pieces. I'm going to start cutting out some of the butterflies. They're very tiny though, so I need to be careful not to lose them. Oh my goodness, this is like not Okay, I think I need to replace this blade. I'm not gonna try and keep their antennas. They're too tiny and I just don't, you're not gonna be able to see them. So there's no point in trying to keep them. Would you look at that? It's so tiny. It's cute though. So tiny. I do want to bend it slightly in the middle. I need to find something to bend it on that's relatively flat. So that way the wings aren't so flat. They're more like up a little bit. Does that make sense? Like instead of being flat, the wings are up. I don't know how to explain that. I think that makes sense, right? Need to find something to do that with. I will do that off camera actually, because for now this doesn't really matter. One butterfly down, many more to go. I'm now realizing though that after doing that one, there's no way this one, I could cut that out. It is too small. You can't really see it on camera. This one right here, it's too small. So that one's not getting cut out. That one's gonna have to be axed. But I'm gonna start cutting these out and we'll check back in if there's anything worth checking in on. I cut out all these butterflies and let me tell you, a lot more difficult than it seems. And it took a lot longer than I thought it was going to, but it's done. So now this is dry. I can start gluing stuff together. Some of the butterflies are just too small, but I am quite tired. I think I'm gonna go lay down and I will pick this up tomorrow and leave the butterflies in here so I don't lose them. This stuff is ready for me to work on tomorrow. I'm just gonna set it to the side and we will be back tomorrow. It is the next day. I am well rested-ish. I've had coffee, that's all I can really help for, you know? We have the butterflies, and I'm gonna start building this. I'm a little nervous. Okay, I'm a lot nervous, but you know, it is what it is. I need to glue on the side walls. Let's start there. So these are gonna have to be cut down to be exact size. Oh no, this is gonna be difficult, I think. And my camera battery's dying. Why is it always diarying? Diarying? Camera battery's dying. I'm gonna go ahead and swap that out while I cut these to be the right length. So my camera battery's charged and I'm in the middle of gluing this box together. I had to make a new piece because I realized if these didn't match exactly in size, they would not go on properly. So I kind of had to cut a new piece out. I had to cut a new piece out and then I had to restain it. And I just felt like that's not interesting for you to rewatch. So I'm not gonna make you. But we're just gluing the box together now. It is a lot more fiddly than I thought it was going to be. I don't really know why I thought this was gonna be easy. Now I gotta wait for this to dry. And then I need to, actually, I think I might just go ahead and put on the last piece now to make sure it all fits. Oh wait, I didn't cut this one down yet, did I? Nope, I did not. Shoot. So I need to cut this one really quick. Man, I wish I'd remembered to do that. Okay, let's glue this last piece on. More or less correct. It is gonna have a lid on it anyway, so you're not gonna necessarily see if there's any small imperfections. Although that does mean that the lid has to be pretty good. So that makes me nervous, but I'm gonna go ahead and let this dry. And then I need to touch up the ends where I cut it to restain them. But yeah, I'm kind of happy. It just looks like a little tray that'd be like on a desk right now, but exciting that this is coming along. And the butterflies are in this case still. You can kind of see some back there. And I'm gonna put those in, not yet. I'm trying to think the best way to do this. Do I want to put the, no, I need to make the lid first and then I'll put the butterflies in and then glue the lid on top. That's the order I'll do this in. So the other video I watched wasn't really a tutorial. I don't think. I actually am blanking now if it was or not, but she did show this, that you cut out the paper in the right size, you glue these to this, and then you cut out the middle paper parts, because these are going to be hard to get to stick together, the little border pieces, because they're so tiny, the glue point is going to be small. So gluing them to a piece of paper gives them a little bit of like a background to stick to, so they're not just sticking to each other at the really tiny points. I'm going to cut these, I'm going to measure them, cut them to this, and then I will cut out the middle. And I just really don't understand why I don't know how to use these. Is there something wrong with me? Like, are these supposed to be kind of, you see how it's kind of like bends back a little bit? Is that supposed to do that? See how it like kind of curves down? Is it just mine? I don't know. Okay, let's get measuring. The lid is done. I did have to cut out a new piece because I messed it up. It is a little off, but I'm hoping that once it's on, you're not gonna be able to notice that anyway. So here are the two pieces. I just need to stain this, stain these, cut this out, put all the butterflies in, and we're done. So, you know, not that much more. Let's just go. Staining with these stain pens are like really cheap online, and honestly, it's kind of just like coloring. You just, you know, and okay. And yeah, look at that. It's quite easy. I recommend these. They're really cheap. I got them somewhere online. I'm sure you can find them really cheap. But actually now I need an even stain, which means I need to redo the sides. Cool. It's fine. It's fine. I'll let that dry. You know, I'm probably gonna regret this decision, but I do think I'm gonna cut out the paper now. I'm being impatient, even though it's not completely. Yep. See, already regretting this decision. I just want to get rid of this paper. This is a huge freaking mistake. This is a huge mistake. Why am I doing this? Why? And yet I'm not stopping. Be very careful when you're doing stuff like this. I have accidentally cut myself with an X-Acto blade and it is sharp and painful. Who'd have thought knives were sharp and painful? Oh no, it's breaking. What part is breaking? What part is breaking? There we go. You can see a little bit of the white paper, but I'm hoping, oh, this feels very wobbly. I just realized I think this is crooked, but you know what? It definitely is crooked actually. Dang it. Can I fix that? I don't think so without ruining it. This could be a huge mistake, honestly. Why am I messing with it when it was basically done? Actually, it does look better. So I'm gonna put a little bit of glue in there. You probably wouldn't have been able to tell. I can tell because I made it. And I don't want to stick too much glue in here, so I gotta be careful. Still need to restain this piece. Not gonna be perfect, but that's okay. It's very fiddly, and I have to be careful because where this glues is where it's stuck. Okay, that's very stressful. I'm gonna let this dry. I wanna start preparing the butterflies. So the difficult part about this is you have to bend them slightly to get them to look more like a butterfly. When they're in there, their wings are kind of bent. So I need to like, yeah, basically like that. See how the wings are kind of like no longer completely flat? That helps it look more like 3D. These tweezers, I need new ones. The monarch butterfly is done. It's the only one I know by name. I'm trying to throw them in this tray for now. I'm not gonna glue them down, just throwing them in there. This is actually not too hard. I thought it was gonna be difficult, but using the tweezers is actually perfect. I just need to be really careful so I don't rip them or anything. You can't even, I mean, these are so tiny you can't even tell. I don't know how many to do because these aren't all gonna fit, I don't think. There we go. A little bit of wing shape. What I'm probably gonna have to do is put them in the box, do a like idea of what I want it to look like without gluing them down, and then take a picture on my phone and take them all back out. That's the only way I can really think to do it. This is really interesting to do in miniature because I think it's just really cool looking, and it's kind of going for like the dark Victorian dark academia vibe that I want the house to have, which kind of spoiler alert, I guess. The person that owns the house is a collector, dark academia, dark Victorian vibes. And so like, I just think these are really cool looking. Personally, I would never have one in real life. I don't really like bugs. So would I have a case full of dead ones? Absolutely not. I actually thought about doing one that was like other kinds of bugs because people had ones that were not just butterflies. They had ones that were like stag beetles and like spiders, which there's no way. You couldn't pay me to do a spider one, but I think it would be interesting to make another one with other kinds of bugs. I just think that it's easier to do butterflies because they're basically flat in real life. So the paper ends up looking right. So I don't know if I'll make another one, but it would be interesting to see it in the house. I actually don't think I want to use that one. Kind of messed it up when I was cutting it out. I don't think I want to use this one either. A couple of them I messed up when cutting out. That's why I did extras. So here they are. I need to arrange them, glue them. This is so tiny. It's kind of difficult. I'm gonna move this out of the way now that I have this. Would it be easier to put a piece of paper down? Maybe it'd be easier if you could just see what I'm working with here rather than my entire dirty desk. I do need to do the plastic and I need to restain this, but then that's gonna go like that. And I'm gonna do a fake, I think I'm gonna do like plastic packaging from an old toy or food or something to get the glass look. Let's see here, let's just go ahead and stain this. Yeah, it's not gonna be perfect. That's okay. I don't really know how to get in this crack right here though. Will like this come out if I squeeze it? Heck yeah, I did. It's like a paint pen kinda. Okay, if you squeeze down, it just kinda leaks out the stain. Oh, I don't wanna break it though. Did I just break it? Ooh, I did crack it a little bit. Okay, gotta be careful. Now I need to let that dry and find some plastic packaging. So we will be right back. I found some plastic from an old toy packaging. I'm gonna assemble that in a second, but I went ahead and put these in here how I want them to look. Now's gonna come the difficult part. Actually, I forgot. We're doing it on here so you can see better. Now's gonna come the difficult part of getting glue on these and attaching them so that way they don't fall over one way or the other. I need them to be sticking kind of like equally so you can't see the bottom part of the wing. Yes, I don't clean my paint palettes, but what does it matter? Don't judge me. Not everyone's perfect like you. So I'm gonna try this one way and see if it works. Oh, I really liked this one. I really liked this butterfly, but because it's blue, it just doesn't show up on the background. And that's unfortunate. They didn't all fit. I'm very nervous, very, very nervous for this part. All right, let's start with the monarch. This is the one I'm the most worried about. Don't really need much glue, I don't think. Kind of worked perfectly. I didn't really have to do anything. It's fiddly though, so I need to be very careful as I go. Oh, wait, is it tipping? No, I think I'm good actually. I just need to be careful because these butterflies are so tiny. If I breathe too hard, they'll fly away. Nope, 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 nope. See, I squished both the wings. Take a deep breath. I literally had to hold my breath so I wouldn't blow away the butterflies. I'm not even on screen, I'm sorry. Oh no, oh, okay. It's okay, it's okay. I just need to realign these. I think I'm using too much glue. I was actually thinking if I ever wanted to do this again, I might do it with specifically looking up large butterflies of the world. Because the monarch ones and the bigger ones are easier to do this with than the really tiny ones. So I was like, oh, what if I just had like a display of like the biggest butterflies in the world? I thought that that would be easier to deal with. So if you're gonna make one of these, maybe do that. Just keep in mind that the very tiny butterflies are difficult to cut out, to deal with, all around very difficult. Oh, is that one glued down? Dang it, it was supposed to be over further. I really should have gone with my first idea and taken a picture of this, but you live and you learn, I guess. Learn from my mistakes, please. Deep breaths, breathing away from this. I feel like I could have fit more butterflies in here had I been better about the arrangement. It's okay, it's not the end of the world. I was a little nervous that it would look too empty, but I feel like there's plenty in here. And one more. I do think I wanted this one down a little bit lower and this one a little bit over to the side, right there. There's like this weird gap actually, so maybe let's move it back. Yeah, it's looking nice. I feel like, do they do this with bats? I feel like I've seen one with bats before, and bats are one of my favorite animals, so that kind of makes me sad. I mean, it makes me sad. I don't want to think about butterflies dying for this either, but I really like bats, and I can't imagine them dying for this. But I feel like I've seen things like this of bats. Nope. Okay, this one's gonna be really difficult because the wings are so tiny. All right, cool. Now I just gotta let it dry and get this excess glue out. That's going to be shiny if I don't. Let's move this to the side. Let's do this. I'm thinking about just gluing this on here and then trimming the excess off. I think that might be best. But I do need to scuff it a little bit just so that the glue has something to adhere to. I've had things fall apart before. I don't want the scratches to show though. Oh, and you know what? They're going to. Again, you live and you learn. Luckily, I have a lot more packaging over here. I'm just gonna go ahead and not worry about scuffing it and hope it just sticks. I'm sure it'll be fine. Glue this down like this. Okay, and then I dropped it in the glue. Dang it. Oh, am I gonna have to do this again? Yep, okay. Third time's the charm, hopefully. I need to be really careful with the plastic. Otherwise, it can very easily get dirty. So I need a fresh piece of paper, and I don't have any more white. So pink it is, or whatever color this even is. So what I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna actually put it upside down while it dries. That just barely fits. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really happy with this either. I feel like if you look too close, you can kind of tell that it doesn't span the width. Tiny little gap in there, and I feel like that's so minuscule that no one would even notice it, but I know it's there. No, it's fine. You can't even tell. There's plastic in there. There we go. Now I'm gonna go ahead and glue this on. And of course, this battery's dying now, which is so weird because this one was just charged. Okay, gluing this on, and then we'll come back for the final reveal. Yay! That is that on that, and I look exhausted because I am. I look a little, you know, but that's not why we're here to critique Kevin today. I really like this. It is quite tiny. It is quite small, but I really like how it turned out, and I think it'll look cool in the room I plan on putting it in. I have started collecting, you can't really see, right here, I have a tiny little box of stuff that is going into the beachside bungalow, and this is going to go in there with it. It's gonna go over in that box. I really, really like this. I don't know why, I just think it looks really cool. It was relatively simple. If you wanna make something like this, it's actually not difficult. It's fiddly, I guess is the best word for it. It's a lot of like really tiny, intricate holding your breath while moving stuff, but it doesn't take a really long time. It's not super complicated. You just kind of need a printer and some pieces. You could even do this with mat board, all of it. I just wanted to be able to stain actual wood. You can do it with mat board. This is a very simple project, I think, for people that wanna do something that looks kind of fun. Like I said, hopefully I'll hear back from Real Good Toys soon, so that way I can maybe start working on the beachside bungalow and we can start putting that together and putting stuff into it, and you can learn more about the story that's going into that dollhouse and the person that lives in it. I'm very, very excited for that project, although I'm very, very excited for my many other projects I want to work on for this channel. And hopefully, even though this wasn't like a big project, it was still fun to watch this week because I know it was tiny. I thought that might be fun doing like just little pieces sometimes. Anyway, if you like me or you like miniatures, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!